Okay, this is round number 2. I just talked. Luckily, it was just for a couple minutes, and I look down at the recorder and it's not recording. So, thank God it was just a couple minutes because I would have lost my mind. Anyways, I am recording this early. It is Friday. I'm still in LA. I like to call it La La Land because I saw that movie with Ryan Gosling. Even though I'm pretty sure that's not where that term came from. I'm pretty sure it's like a well-known thing and they just named the movie that. But anywho, for me, that's where it comes from. So yeah, usually now I'm confused. I'm like, did I already say this or was this when I wasn't recording? Usually I record the solo episodes a couple days or the day before I release it, but I wanted to record it early because I have time, and also next week might be a shit show because they could go on strike again. My husband informed me, and by they I mean the staff at schools that are not paid properly, so I get it. But for me, if that's the case, I would rather record the solo episode now instead of trying to get it done when Milo's at home, because that would just, I mean, it just wouldn't work. Unless you want him to make an appearance. Actually, well, no, because he'd be talking in the background the whole time. Like whenever he sees me talking into a microphone, he wants to talk into it. I could give him one that's not plugged in, but still, like, you know. Also, you might hear noise in the background, like traffic and whatnot. When I came, so this is a different hotel than the last one I was in, and the last one was in West Hollywood. This one is more downtown LA. It's near the Fashion District, which I've learned does not mean that there's shopping in the area. It means that there are lots of like textile stores and like warehouses. It's actually very industrial and like run down and not the best place. This hotel is incredible. Nicer than the previous one, I would say. But yeah, the area, like, it's not like you're going to walk around and explore, which is why I'm recording this podcast right now and not out doing stuff. We had some downtime. I'm exhausted. Being social is super exhausting. So yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go record the solo episode. If they go on strike next week, I'm literally packing up the car and I'm just going to my mom's and I'm going to relax for a little while because I don't want to try getting work done with Milo being home. And yeah, I like going to my mom's house. She cooks, you know, it's just nice. So yes, a little bit about the Amazon event before I get into the tarot card reading. Guys, I didn't even know. So we went to, why am I here? Okay. So I'm here as a part of the Amazon influencer program, which I kind of like stumbled into after becoming friends with Charlie. She explained, I'm talking about Charlie Goss. If you don't follow her on Instagram, you must. So she explained to me, she's like, people ask you about products all the time. Like, you're already sharing links, or I don't. Usually I used to just like ignore people. I was like, nah, I'm not that kind of like person. I don't like to share links. Is actually a lot of work. You have to go like look up the product, get the link, especially now I'm trying to do like Canadian and US links because half my audience on Instagram and TikTok and for the podcast is American. It's like half and half Canada, US with other countries like sprinkled in. So it's a lot. And she was like explaining how Amazon storefronts work. And I was like, that's actually so amazing because we order so much stuff on Amazon and it would be nice to just be able to direct people to a place where all the products that they see me using are like curated into little folders. So how it works is when people who are signed up through Amazon Associates or the Amazon Influencer Program, when you share a link and people go to Amazon through that link and purchase stuff, you get a commission on it. So it's quite lovely. And to be honest, after being in this space, like I hardly know anything. I focus a lot of my energy on the podcast. And so I'm not as well versed in influencer things and like sharing links and like to know it and all that stuff. But I'm slowly learning. Like, for example, I used to be on the like to know it thing and I was like, oh, this is too much. Like I can't. But then I realized like the other day I shared a link straight to Lululemon for my cargo pants and it had like not a ton of clicks, but it had like almost 1,000 clicks on my cargo pants. And when you do that, like you're not getting anything in return. But if you sign up through these programs and you're doing the exact same thing that you would do anyways, you're sharing the links, then you can make a commission on it, which is kind of nice. And yeah, it's just like getting paid for your work that you're doing 24/7 basically. So I am here, like so grateful to be here, meeting people, learning so much because like I said, I just kind of started using Amazon in that way and sharing links. So that is why I'm here. The event is more so downtown LA, which is why I moved hotels. But yeah, it's super exciting. And people are always like, share the US link, share the US link. And I'm like, I don't know how, like, I don't know where to find it. And I finally, like, I'm figuring all of this stuff out. So like today I wore my Hanson t-shirt, got to share both the Canadian and the American link, which was so lovely. Speaking of the Hanson shirt, I was walking around. So at the Amazon event, they had like a little holiday section. And there was a guy there who was doing like hot chocolates and these snowflake cookies. It was a really cute event. And anyways, I like walk by and I just like smile at him. I'm like, hey, like, you know, as I do. And he was like, I like your shirt. And I was like, oh, thank you. I said, it's from Amazon. And he laughed. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that has ever put in the search bar of Amazon, like Hanson t-shirt. And he's like, oh my God, you actually like specifically searched for that shirt? I was like, yes, I did, sir. Yes, I did. So many people complimented me on it. And most people here, like it feels like most people are on the fashion side of things, very fashionable, like dressed to the nines all the time. And I was like, you know what? I'm just a person that wears Hanson t-shirts and jeans. So that's what I wore today. And people were like, cute. I don't know if they felt bad for me or if like it was a genuine compliment, but I'll take it either way. I felt great. So something that the US Amazon store has that we don't have yet in Canada, which I'm excited about, is shoppable videos. And like, for me, I'm not so much a person that posts just static images. I love making reels and doing the funny voiceovers. So the US account has the option to like upload your reels and then you can link the products that are in your reels. So I made one the other day and I was like, oh, this is so fun. Okay. So, another thing about the like to know it, like stores like H&M, like all the stores that I shop at all the time are on there. So I need to get on there because it's not even just for me. So many people are like, oh, where's Milo's hat from? It's like H&M. So I could link that and get commission on it. Like, it's just crazy. This whole world is crazy. I'm learning so much. So last night we went to a Lil Wayne concert, which was put on by Amazon Music Live. And it's kind of neat because what they're doing is having these concerts. I think it's like weekly and they stream them. So people at home can like log in and view the concert. Do you hear that outside? It's crazy. I forgot to tell you, I walked into this hotel room, thought the windows were wide open. I'm on the 3rd floor. Like I thought the windows were wide open. So I'm like moving the curtains to try and close the windows. They are not open. Like they're closed, but I think it's the original windows of this building, which is like old AF. And like there's cracks along the edges of the windows, like you can see outside. So it literally sounds like I'm just sleeping in the middle of traffic. So anywho, Lil Wayne concert. Never thought I would go see a Lil Wayne concert, but we went. Yeah, so it's neat. It's a concert. It's like an hour long and it starts specifically like right on time because they're filming it to be streamed on TV so that people from home can log in and watch the concert. I love this idea because I'm obsessed with concerts. We felt a little bit too old, a little bit out of place. Initially, I thought it was going to be all the people from the Amazon influencer program at the concert and like nobody else. But no, like there was just a whole bunch of people. And yeah, felt a little bit out of place, a little bit old. We found a couch like in this corner, sat there for probably close to an hour. I was like trying to figure out my Amazon store in the US and like posting things, and I made my little shoppable video. Like people are like partying, like smoking, like doing all this stuff, like getting drinks, and like we're in the corner on the couch like do is the show starting yet? It was pretty funny. I used to be a huge Lil Wayne fan, but I feel like in Canada he's just kind of not mainstream anymore. He might be still like mainstream in the US, at least it seems that way, but I didn't really know like his newer songs. He played some of the old ones, he rapped some of the old ones. It's not like he's playing a guitar. But yeah, it was really good. I was really happy though to get home at like a decent time. Got home at like 10 or something with my Kindle, put in my freaking night guard retainers and just watched Love Island, read my book. But to be honest, like Love Island, is it just me or is it never ending? Like from what I remember watching the first season, they're in the pods for quite some time getting to know each other, and then they do like the engagement and then a little bit in the outside world and then it's over. I feel like they've been out of the pods forever. Like I started watching it the other day and I binge watched it. Watched a ton of episodes like while I've been at this hotel and it's still not ending. And everyone's like, because I want to make sure that there's an update on these couples, and everyone's like, oh yeah, there's a reunion, like don't worry. And I'm like, okay, well where's the reunion? Like hello, like I just can't believe how long they're dragging out this process. I think right now I'm at the point where I think they've already met each other's parents, or like it's at the tail end of that. So like what more is there? Like end the show, show me the reunion. God. And every time I see like a TikTok or like an Instagram post or something about Love is Blind, did I say Love Island before? I mean Love is Blind. I'm like scrolling super fast, like don't look, because like I want to see what happens. And my whole thing that I've noticed while watching Love is Blind is that I was so impressed with all these people when they were in the pods. I was like, wow, they are so mature. Like they say the right things. Like I was just like, wow, all these couples are going to just, you know, last to the end of time. Like this is great. Like mature adults, like, wow. Then they get out into the real world and I'm like, oh, that is not going to last. Like red flag, red flag, red flag. Like, I don't know what it is, but clearly when people are in like a secluded room, like, I don't know what it is. Like, why do they change so much once they can physically see each other, read each other's body language? Is it because okay, here it is. I just thought of this. When they're in the pods, they have zero expectations of what is going to happen in that relationship. Once they've already decided, like, yes, I want to be with that person, here comes all the expectations of how you want that other person to act, like how you want them to treat you. Like, and so I think that kind of messes them up. And I'll never forget, this just made me think of this. Oprah had a quote. For the life of me, I have not been able to find this quote again. Maybe I made it up. Maybe I dreamt this, but I'm pretty sure Oprah said the reason she's never gotten married to Stedman, who she's been with forever, is because she was like, I don't want our relationship to change. And with marriage comes expectations. And I've always thought about that. And I think it's such a good, maybe you don't agree with it, but I think it's something to be mindful of. Like, how have our expectations of our partner changed going from dating to now being married, or going from being engaged to now being married with kids. It's just interesting because I think expectations are like one of the key things that can make people upset. Like if their expectations aren't met, or sometimes we have expectations of our partner that we don't even realize are there, like at a conscious level, and they are. So it's just something to think about. Good old Oprah. Anywho, okay, I'm at 15 minutes. So before I get into the tarot card reading, which blew my mind, I just want to say my sister sent me this post, and Shawn Mendes, that's right, has okay, you know the app, I'm pretty sure it's the Calm app, where they do like the guided meditations and like the sleep stories and stuff like that. He has his own thing on the Calm app where it's like him talking. I'm sorry, but that's going to be in my ear like 24/7. Like, how amazing was that? I wonder if it's like, is he just talking, or is he, you know, giving a little bit of like a, because if it was that, incredible. I would play it on a portable speaker in my office all day. So I need to look into that. I wanted to mention it so that I don't forget. It's written down on this cue card here. Okay, tarot reading. So we go to this dinner, the first night of this event, and it was at Catch LA. It was beautiful, like the table settings, the drinks. There was like this beautiful glass at everyone's place setting with an ice cube that was in the shape of a sphere, a circle, if you will, which looked beautiful. But then every time you went to go take a drink from the cup, that ice cube would like roll into your top lip. It didn't hurt, but it was like you're trying to take a sip and there's just like a ball of ice resting on your top lip. It was a little bit weird, but it looked beautiful, stunning. So food was incredible. There was like a mushroom pasta, like a truffle steak, which was like the best steak I've ever had in my life. Sushi, like when I go to these really nice restaurants, it was the same when I went to Mademoiselle in Toronto for the Spade and Sparrows dinner. Like, I'm not so much a seafood person, but if you put me in this like gorgeous, beautiful, like delicious restaurant, I will eat whatever they put in front of me because it is always amazing. Like raw, like I don't care what it is, I'll eat it. Except for oysters. Like, get that shit away from me. No, I tried once. My husband loves oysters. He puts like hot sauce and like horseradish on the oyster and like, ooh, like takes it back. It's disgusting. So anyways, we were in Vancouver once at a conference and I was like, okay, I'll try it. Like, I like mussels, but keep in mind, mussels are cooked. Like, they're steamed. They're not raw. It's a totally different vibe. But I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll try it. Tried an oyster. When I tell you I was not okay, like the texture, barf. When I go in the ocean, like I make a point to not open my mouth because I don't want to get seawater, salt water in my mouth. Like, it tastes disgusting. And when I ate the oyster, there was like seawater in the thing. And I'm like, how is that good? Like, how does anybody like that? And then I understand that people put all these toppings on it to basically mask the taste of the oyster. And it's like, just put your hot sauce and your horseradish on a piece of bread. Like, it was the same with, oh my God, I tried caviar for the first time when I was at Mademoiselle. There's another thing. See, I'm like, oh, I'm at this fancy restaurant. Everything is amazing. I'll try caviar. Sure. What is it? Like, what is it? Snail eggs or fish eggs? Sure. I'll try it. Put it on like the little toast thing, cracker thing, whatever. Ugh. Like, no, never again. And then people were telling me, you ate it wrong. You have to put X, Y, and Z on it. And it's like, why? Like, it's so expensive. And you don't like the actual taste of just the caviar. You want to put a bunch of stuff on top of it before you eat it because it doesn't taste good on its own. Like, put that stuff on a piece of bread. Like, it's cheaper and it tastes better. So I just don't understand. Anyways, back to the tarot card reading. We were at Catch and we're all sitting at the table, and one of the girls was like, oh, see that girl? She was like tucked away in a corner. They were like, she's reading people's tarot cards. And maybe I'm not even saying this correctly, but that's what she was doing. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I've never had something like that done before. So people kept, do you hear this? Yeah. Okay. This is why I travel everywhere with my sound machine, by the way. Linked in my Amazon store. Okay. So I'm like, I've never done anything like that before. And then everyone kept coming back from having their cards read, being like, that is insane. Like, this is incredible. And I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. So she was in very high demand, and she was there just like for us, like for the event. So anyone could just like walk up and do it. So I had my back to her kind of, so I kept missing my turn. Like, I was trying not to be a super creeper, like constantly looking at her. But I kept like looking. Okay, someone's still there. Kept looking like, okay, someone's still there. And then I would look again and it's a different person. I'm like, oh my God, I keep missing it. So finally, I got my chance, and everyone's like, Renee, go, like, she's free. I felt bad because she was eating, her pasta, and I was like, I'm so sorry, but I've been trying to come see you all night. She's like, no problem. Like, come sit down. Like, this is exciting. Someone told me also that she was featured in Vogue magazine. I'm going to try. I followed her on Instagram and I can't remember her handle, but when I find it, I will share it in my stories. So I sit down, and the whole thing is like, you're supposed to tell her like one or two things that you want to know about. Like, what should she focus on, basically? So I'm like, okay. So I said career, like specifically the podcast, and then whether or not we should have a second baby. And she was like, oh, I love that. Okay. So she like shuffles the cards like a million times and is doing her thing. And I'm just like waiting there. And I wish I would have got it on film, but maybe you're not allowed. Anyways, she like flips all the cards and she's like, whoa, this is fucking crazy. And I was like, oh my God, she's swearing. What? And so she's going through like each of the cards. I shit you not, like 4 out of the 6 cards meant like motherhood, baby, pregnancy. Like, it was nuts. She was like, this is fucking crazy. I was like, oh my God. So that was wild. And I haven't even told my husband yet, but like clearly she knows that we should be having a second child. Like, basically the universe has made the decision and knows what's best for us. And I trust that. So I have to tell my husband. And then for the podcast, she was like, so based on like the cards, I wish I would have taken a picture of the cards so I could like investigate them further. But she was like, basically something about like, you need to like leave something behind and like move on to like bigger and better things. And I was like, that's really interesting, because I've been like struggling with different ideas and like things that I want to do for the podcast. And so that kind of like confirmed that I'm probably going in the right direction. So that was exciting. And yeah, so now I just feel like I have like extra fuel to like make changes, you know, because she told me, because a lady in the corner of the restaurant told me these things, and I trust her. And it just makes so much sense, because I've been struggling with this decision with with the podcast, and she knows nothing about that. All I literally said was, okay, whether or not to have a second baby, and career, specifically, I host a podcast. And she was like, yeah, it's showing me that like you should be like leaving something behind and like going on to something bigger. And I was like, oh my God, like it detailed, like it was specific to what I've actually been ruminating about. So anyways, I thought that was crazy. I do have a crazy plan for 2023 that I think I'm going to start working on in December. And that is a totally new second podcast that is daily. So my dream has been to have a daily podcast, like Monday to Friday, short episodes. And it's basically going to be like an audio diary journal, because I find I'm going through my days constantly wanting to like talk things out, like, you know, tell a story, whatever it is. And there's just not enough time to do it in this solo episode. So my idea is, a totally new second podcast that's going to have nothing to do with this one. This one will be unchanged. It will stay identical. Because I love it and it's like my little baby. So yeah, that's my plan as of now. And that would be launched on January 1st, 2023. I haven't really told anybody about this. A few people. But yeah, I've been thinking about it for a long time and I think I would really enjoy it. And it's going to be something like I wake up, I do it, I upload it, it's done. Every day, Monday to Friday. So I'm not that crazy. I'm not doing it Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, stay tuned for that. It's not going to be in the parenting section. It's not going to be like motherhood. It's literally like an audio journal, similar to these solo episodes, but just more up to date. Like, I love Instagram stories because it's like you're following along with my life, but I can't sit and have like an in-depth conversation or like tell like long stories or whatever, specifically like what I'm going through. Or so I'm hoping with the daily Monday to Friday, it's like going to be super relevant to what is going on at the time. And it's like a little diary. It's like some people write in their journal every day, and I want to just like talk into a microphone and upload it to the internet so everybody else can hear my diary. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That is all for me. I feel like I've been talking nonstop for days because I have, and my voice is going to shit the bed. Have you heard that saying? But thank you guys so much for listening. If you know somebody that would love this podcast, please share it with them. Be like, you have to listen to this. Send them specific episodes that you think would be helpful. Just spread the word, guys. If you haven't, please rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen. It's starting to get dark outside already. I got to get ready for dinner. I think I'm going to wear that pink Skims dress that I bought. But I'm annoyed because I got my period today, and so I'm probably going to feel super bloated, and it's a skin tight. The Skims is skin tight. So that's not going to be fun, but whatever. I needed a reason to wear it, so why not now? But yeah, thank you so much for listening, and I hope everybody sleeps tonight and doesn't wake up at 4 a.m. because they are still on a different time zone. Okay, bye.